Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to violence. The word and the act encased.
This week's first descent is All Crime Comics number 3 with the Bruce Timm cover given to me by my good friend Mr. Rigor Mortis 86. This past week I went to a local comic book show. Deals were there to be had. Every table I went to, the person behind the table was like, make an offer on anything that you'd like, which is a big time turnaround compared to 2 years ago where nobody was even budging on price. Everybody thought, well, not everybody, not this channel. A lot of people thought the prices were just going to keep on rising, but now that everything is coming back down to earth here, meeting in the middle is a little bit better, and it's better for the hobby. Before we get to the haul, let's show you a chew from the tomb. So going to convention or going to a con, I got memories about getting books signed. So I'm going to show these two. This is the Vengeance of Bane 64-page special, and this is the Vengeance of Bane 2: The Redemption. You can see that both are signed by Graham Nolan. What made me bring these books out this week is I was reading a post on Facebook, basically a autograph site, or an autograph forum I should say, that talks about pricing for autographs and sketches. And there was one gentleman, I believe he went to New York City Comic Con, and he was a little bit put off by the prices that artists, writers were charging for just a signature and sketches. I got both of these books plus another book signed for free. I remember asking Graham Nolan how much he charged for signatures. This was back in 2013, I believe, or 14, I can't remember. But it was right after I went to Mike Grell's table and I had my Longbow Hunters 3-issue set signed. He signed them all for $5, which is a great deal. But I remember asking Graham Nolan the same, like, how much are your signatures, and he looked at me like I had 3 heads. He was like shocked that people were actually charging for signatures at the show. And yeah, flash forward 10 years, and I'm not sure how much he charges for an autograph, but I'm assuming he does. And I don't see anything wrong with charging for autographs. People need to, artists, writers need to basically pay their own way to some of these shows, and they need to pay for lodging and food and just probably merchandise too, just to bring it along. So it's understandable that they charge for autographs. But this particular poster, I'm not going to say his real name or anything like that. I think he was more disturbed, or more, not disturbed, more put off. I will use that word again. He was put off by just the attitude that comes with it. And I've noticed it too over the past couple of years. And this has nothing to do with Graham Nolan. He was an absolute gentleman when I met him. Other artists that I've met, this is recently in the past couple of years, guys that never used to charge before, all of a sudden charging $5 a signature, and now it's just like, sign the book, here's your book back, where's my $5, and then nothing. Before you'd get a signature, talk for a little bit, joke around. Now it's like, sign the book, hand it back to you, and stare off into space. I'm like, what the fuck? But just reminded me of the good old days. I mean, I'm somebody that buys a print. I'm not somebody that comes up with like a cart full of a couple long boxes, 60 issues to sign. I'm a 3 to 5 max signature getter, and if you charge, I'm probably only getting one, which is probably the way you want anyways. But so I could see this guy's point. He's just it's basically the hobby like passed him by. But I got news. With all the comics coming back down to earth, I think the signatures, I think the sketches, well, some of them are going to be coming back down to reality too, especially the signatures, not so much the sketches. I think that's going to be a slow, if they ever come down. But the signatures, I think, are going to start coming back to reality, because a lot of these guys, they use the old, oh, you're just going to sell them on eBay. If that was the case, why aren't these guys digging through dollar bins and pulling out their stuff and signing them, and selling them themselves? It's not true. I mean, if anything, signatures take away value from the books themselves. Unless, signature series, I think those maintain their value, but depending on the artist. Enough about this. Let's get to our haul. And it was a good haul. It's a great haul. So let's check it out right about now. Like I said, everything was negotiable, and and I mean everything. Well, except for the only thing I paid full price for was this Rue Morgue with the Danzig cover. I figured I'd wanted this issue, and it's about. It was about $2 less than cover price, so I couldn't really complain too much. So I paid $7 for this, but I'll do a little bit more, a separate video for this, probably on my other channel, because I got an interview and photo shoot, plus the demonic art of Simon Bisley. So I'm gonna go in the order that I bought them in. Even though I just showed the magazine, which was something I bought towards the end, but that's not a comic, so forgive me. The first, I always look for the cheap bins, the dollar, the 50-cent bins. So I stopped at a dollar bin, and I found 2 issues after looking through pretty much like 12 or 13 long boxes. But I came up with some pretty good ones here, I'd say. Picked up Cry for Dawn, Volume 1, the 3rd printing. Take a look inside real quick. I'm a huge fan of Joseph Michael Linsner's early work. You can tell like this is nice. But I would like to get the rest of this run. There you go, like this, man. This is pretty badass. Yeah, but any of the Linsner's early stuff I really enjoy. And let me tell you how much I hate self-adhesive bags. Not a bad beginning to a show for $1. Also found this one in there. Cry for Dawn, Volume 3, or no, I'm sorry, Volume 6. So I'll probably be hunting the rest of these down. Yeah, this is a first printing. I think there was only 1 printing of this, but this is definitely a 3rd because it actually even says it. Let's see. There you go. But yeah, so right off the bat, $2 spent. Next I came to the 50-cent table. And I picked up a few 50-cent books. Or no, sorry, 50-cent Marvel, 25-cent everything else. So I picked up for 25 cents Mechanics. From Jaime Hernandez. Those that read Love and Rockets will know some of these stories. Ended up finding a couple pit issues that I needed. Issue 19. And issue 20. I believe this is the last issue of that run. Next up I picked up Lobo, A Contract on God. number 3. I'm trying to get all of the early 90s Lobo stuff, and I pretty much got probably about 90% of it. There's still a few that I need, but I was able to knock some of them off the list here. But this is just an awesome cover. Also picked up The Darkness from Top Cow Comics. Mark Silvestri art. Not bad for a quarter. So here was the steal of the 50-cent bin. I believe the New Warriors issue number 1. Always wanted this issue. I've had the reprint before, but nice getting the actual copy. And only for only 50 cents, I couldn't pass it up. I was a huge Night Thrasher fan. I thought the character was pretty cool. Wasn't a big fan of the Speedball guy. You know? He always looked weird to me. And the last book I pulled out of that bin was, you guessed it, another copy of Superman issue number 75. Still sealed in the poly bag. I gave my last extra copy away to Mr. Rigor Mortis 86, and now I got another copy. But yeah, that was my 50 centers / 25 centers, or I should say 150 cent, and the rest all 25 cents. Like I said, guys, there was deals to be made. Next, I went up to another dealer and I picked up this book here, Spawn issue number 9. First appearance of Angela, and Medieval Spawn, and it's the newsstand copy. I talk about the Spawn newsstands in my last video. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a link down below for that. But he had $15 on it. I offered him 10 and he took it right away. So that was nice having I thought that was a decent deal, $10 for this. And it's in really good condition. Down here, it's just a little bit of issue. It's not really split per se, but you can tell it's just a little bit. But other than that, it's almost like a perfect book. So I had to put it in Mylar because it's probably one of my favorite covers of the Spawn books. I own multiple copies of this. So after that, I went to another dollar table and I ended up picking up Lobo, A Contract on God, issue number 2. So now I need 1 and 4, I believe. And I also picked up, you know who this is, man. If you don't, you're gonna know. This is Martin motherfucking Emond. Drawing some Lobo, man. So we gotta crack this bitch open. So, like, shout out to Big Elbow. He's another huge fan of Martin fucking Emond. Just one of my favorite artists, especially his erotic stuff. But I also love his Lobo stuff too. So Martin Emond also did a book called White Trash. So Lobo's actually like reading it. Way to put your own, give yourself a shout out. I just love early 90s Lobo. I can't remember when this came out. This is what, 94. So they, I can't remember when, was that the Christmas special came out. I think it was 1990 or 91. Just that 3 or 4 year window of Lobo is just perfect. It's basically the perfect character for that time. He was extreme before it was, cool to be extreme. And they were just like crazy ass stories, man. Like the normal superhero shit that you would read. It just was mind blowing. I'm sure that there's some book out that came out in the 80s that, you know, somebody else stated that he copied off of them. That's fine, but, you know, for young PZ, you know, going to the local comic shop, and this was about as extreme as I could get at the time. But yeah, man, I always love getting Martin Iman books. Just one of my favorite artists. Just the way he draws, it's like real heavy. He draws it real heavy. But yeah, not bad for $1. I had it's funny, I had this book in my shopping cart for mycomicshop.com, and it was like $3, so I saved $2 just buying it to the show. That's awesome. Like, I'm not even sure you could bring this character back nowadays. I mean, it just, the only way I could say it is just perfect for that time. I mean, you saw what happened when they brought him back. They turned him into, like, what's that Twilight vampire look, you know? So as I'm digging in through everything, the show's starting to, you know, been there for a couple hours. I'm going to make a couple more deals. I believe this was $12 or $13. I offered $10. They accepted it. It's Amazing Spider-Man issue number 265. I needed it for my run, and this was like one of the bigger first appearances. It's the first appearance of Silver Sable, if you don't know. Just wanted to get it out of the way before some godforsaken movie got announced and push the book up where it doesn't belong. So I decided to pick it up now for $10. It's pretty decent condition. It got a little issue right around the staple there, but it's, other than that, it's a pretty decent book. So good to have in my collection. I'm happy with it. Next up, ended up getting this one for $12. It's Marvel Zombies versus Army of Darkness. Captain America homage, you know, when he's punching out Hitler, but he's this time it's zombie Captain America punching out zombie Hitler. With Captain America's young ally Ash. This was strictly a cover by Arthur Sudan, being the artist. Yeah, just an iconic cover. This is another book I had in my mycomicshop.com shopping cart for a while. Then somebody else bought it, and I was like, whatever. Then I came across it, and so the only thing I'm really looking for now is, and I never see that in the wild, is Marvel Milestone Captain America issue number 1. I've been looking for that forever. Every time I go to like any of these shows and stuff, I look right into Captain America, I look Marvel Milestone, stuff like that, and I just cannot find it for the life of me. I'm not even sure that book exists. I know it exists, but I'm just saying I've never seen it with my own eyes. So I'm on the hunt for that book. That's one of those books that, you know, I could easily probably buy on eBay for like $80 or whatever, but just one of those books I want to find in the wild for, you know, $10-15. So we're getting towards the end here. I went out of order a little bit. I saved the big book that I bought for last, but this is the book I actually bought last before leaving the show, and I picked up Amazing Spider-Man issue number 298. Of course, this is the first Todd McFarlane on Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man, that is. That would set up the iconic run. As you can see, it's a little discolored under here. It's seen some love. They had $20 on it. I offered $15. I had to get one of the three out of the way, and I figured this is the easiest way to do it, because usually when I buy something and 2 weeks later I'll come across another copy that's much better. It's roughly around the same price. Hopefully that happens for me again, but if not, at least I got one of them out of the way. I want $2.99, and I also need $300, the first print. I got the facsimile, I got the True Believers, now I need the real deal. And I'm hoping to get a graded copy of that. So, but yeah, this is I think I got a good deal on it. I mean, like I said, granted it's a little, yeah, seen some sun, I guess. Like it was out on the beach. It's not white as a mountain snow or anything like that, but it'll do. And the last book I picked up, this has been a book I've been searching for a while, just waiting for the right price. Guy had, I think, 69 on it. Yeah, 69 or 77. Yeah, it was 69, 99. I offered him $50 for it. He came back with 60. I was like, all right, that's good enough for me. So, but I picked up Conan the Barbarian, issue number 23, the first appearance of Red Sonja. The true first appearance. Don't believe the hype. She's in all through this book. I mean, I've read it. I've actually opened this book. But like I always say, man, count your pages. So I took the time, counted the pages, made sure everything was in there, made sure everything was looked on the up and up. And I laid my $60 down. I think I got a decent deal for how nice this book looks. It's got issues, but it's nothing that I'm really concerned with. I'm just glad to have a copy in my hands. You can see like right here, it got a little issue, and it got a little bit of a line down here. It's unfortunately the color is broken on it, but not really too concerned with that. But yeah, like I said, I counted the pages. Remember, folks, 8 to the staple, 8 after the staple, not including the cover. So always count. If you're spending more than $25 on any Bronze Age book, count those pages, because shit was clipped out of that stuff, a lot of it. So if it wasn't a Marvel value stamp, it was somebody subscribing to Grit to sell Grit, or O.J. Simpson selling some sneakers or something like that, But definitely super happy to have this in my collection. There's a few other books that I was debating whether to pick up, but there were like deals everywhere. There's another book that I was going to pick up. I sort of want to kick myself in the ass though. A dealer had a Spawn book that I wanted. It said Dark Knight Returns, issue number 2, homage. He had $40 on it. I was like, okay, I'm just going to check something else out, and I'll come back. And of course it was gone, so but it was $40, man. It looked pretty decent condition too, so sort of kicking myself in the ass for that one. But other than that, I just had a great time. It was fun dealing again. I think both parties made out, unless they if the dealer's overpaid for some of this stuff, then what are we gonna do here? But again, thanks if you made this far. Thank you for watching. Let's do some last week's books this week. I only have 2 books to show from my pull list. I wanted the Transformers issue number 2, but they didn't have the cover I wanted, so I'm gonna hold off. How about Batman issue 139? I did have a read King Spawn. Still loving this book. Again, the art in this book is really good. Spawn's visiting the 5th realm of hell on his way to the 3rd realm. And he's sort of stuck here, and he meets this lovely creature. Spawn's a book I've just been really enjoying. Looks like there's going to be like 25 more titles coming out, so I'm going to probably buy the first issue of each of them. It also looks like, what's that? I believe it's Josh Lehman is taking over Scorched after issue 25. So I might check that issue out when it comes out. But again, Gunslinger has been number 1, King Spawn number 2, and Spawn number 1 or Spawn number 3 for my favorites. So yeah, it's a pretty gnarly cover too. But alright guys, thanks again. Check out all the links down below, and we'll talk to you next time.